hello to people that jumped in straight away. Oh, listen, look, Toby's bang on time.
Listen, always
Yes,
ready,
Toby.
innit?
One second, let me turn
Let
it
me
off a
put.
little bit.
Wait, hang on. I
I
need to find
thought you
this
was
set
going to
up on
leave
my
me in
phone.
it for ages, like I was going to be talking to the camera, just talking rubbish, but I was waiting
No, I'm not. I'm not massive, man.
for
Wait, hang on. Yeah, there we go.
You got to start now. Now, someone's just
Yeah.
messaged me. One of my mates just must have seen my story, shouting out who was about to do this. Was like, yeah, good player. I've given him a few grounds before. He's a Millwall fan. How we doing?
Nah. Yeah, all good, man. How are you? As good as you can be, really.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. I can't lie. It's a little bit boring now. Lockdown. Like I was at first, it was okay. Like got a little bit of a chill, but it's a little bit boring now. We get there. We keep
Yeah,
moving.
everyone.
There's a lot of people are struggling and stuff, so it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone just wants to be back to normal, like.
Are you? Are
Like
you?
it's just a struggle right now, really. Say that again?
You're down in London now, though, yeah.
Yeah. I'm back at mum and dad's house.
Oh, Toby, how someone brought you out already? What happened when Ben Rama nutmegged you?
That's what people are on. Yeah. No. It
Okay.
happens, man. No, it happens, innit? It happens, innit?
Let's get it. Let's get it started. So we're gonna do. So just so everyone knows, just jumped in live. We're gonna do a quick 10 questions. So I'm gonna ask one, and Toby will ask one, and so on. We'll try and be a little bit quicker than Connor and Michael were last week. But yeah, we'll see. Do you want to go first or second, Toby?
Yeah. I want to jump straight into it. What's your best moment at Conquest so far?
That's a good one. My best moment at Conquest. To be honest with you, it's going to sound like I'm saying this now because obviously I'm on with you, but
Yeah.
did say it in an article back in like 2017 or something like that. Probably the best moment for me individually was when you got your first deal at AFC, your scholar. It was a massive moment for Connor and I because it was sort of validation for all the work we had been doing. We knew
Yeah.
good. We knew that like we were doing the right things and putting people in the right positions. And that was the first time that a pro club came and put something on the table. It sort of broke that glass
Yeah.
house. So it was like that was like for me personally, I felt like that was a big moment because it was sort of like the first tick box validation, and then after that it was more of a domino effect where everyone stood up and listened. Obviously, you did your got your pro and everything. So yeah, that for me that was the number one moment.
Oh, that's nice, man. Thank you.
That's all right. Props where it's due. Anyway, let me jump into mine. So on that note, like with Conquest, we've got like a little bit of a saying at Conquest. Yeah, we always differentiate between like confidence and arrogance. And we say confidence is bad, and arrogance is bad, but confidence is good. And I don't know if you knew this, but it was actually like born out of when we used to watch you play. You were markedly different to a lot of players your age because you knew you were good. You had a confidence, but you weren't arrogant with it. Still humble. You keep yourself on the floor. Keep your feet on the ground, and just sort of like telling the viewers, like, how did you manage to stay like that, and like, what do you think it was that allowed you to keep your feet on the ground and not get carried away? Because, like, let's be honest, especially at youth football, you were in a position where you were a lot better than some of the people who were playing against. Like, you could dominate and things like that. So, what was it that allowed you to keep your feet on the floor and really stay grounded?
I think a lot of it is down to, like I've said before, like I always give shout outs to my mum and dad. Like football just started off as a hobby for me as a young kid. So my mum and dad just used to take me up and down the country, wherever it is, they'll watch me play, like no matter what game it is. So I think that goes up for them. And my mum, when I was in school, she's always like, listen, football might not always work out. You can either get injured and you need your education for like a backup plan if it doesn't work out. So always looked at that as in, it sort of humbled me and brought me back down because football, it doesn't work for anyone. There's a lot of like quality players out there who don't always get the opportunity um to sign a professional deal. So I think in that respect, like as a footballer, like it's the best job that you can ask for growing up. If you want to be a footballer, it's the best job you can ask for. So in that way, you're humble of that. And I think for me as well, like not being in an academy environment until I was 16. I've been on trials here and there, but I haven't been fully signed. So I think that it was like nothing was really given to me. You had to work for it. Do you know what I mean? So you had to keep working, keep pushing because, like I've said before, it's not always that you're not good enough for the academy you're trialing out for. It might be because they have players in your position or someone younger than you and they think has better potential. So I think that's the main thing for me, just my parents and yeah, just working hard.
Yeah, so like touch on that, obviously shout out like your mum and dad, shout out all the parents doing stuff for their children in and outside of football. But I think it's important what you touched on there, like staying humble and knowing like you're only ever like one wrong decision, one bad decision away from a completely different life. So
Yeah,
yourself on the floor, like keeping your feet on the ground and just
yeah, exactly.
not
Like
feeling
even now,
grateful for what you've got and like like where you are in life. Like feeling important.
yeah, exactly. Like it's even now, like touch wood, it doesn't happen, but players can get career-ending injuries and at young ages and stuff that can rule them out forever. So they do need a backup plan. But yeah, football is it's a tough world, but I think if you put your mind to it, anything's possible, really.
Yeah, cool. Wait, a couple of guys are throwing questions in, Toby, but I just let everyone know we will do a Q&A at the end. So like keep
Yeah.
coming. Me and Toby will do those. But go on, hit me up with a second question, Toby.
So my second question is, what made you start Conquest?
Um, what made me start Conquest? It's an
Yeah.
easy, to be honest with you. I can't take all the credit. So I was starting uni. Connor had been working in the school, and basically like he's seeing what was being provided to children, and he was saying to me,
Yeah.
Harry, we can change this. Like this is not like what's being provided here on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a month is not closing the gap between grassroots football and professional football. And he felt like his coaching and then sort of me working in the background, we would be able to set up a platform where people could really close that gap.
Yeah.
Gap in the market for, and I'm not trying to like slag anyone off, but a lot of grassroots clubs were doing things one way, and it was completely different to how academies were doing things. And it only
It's true.
in my head that if you mirror what they're doing, you're probably going to get similar results. So if you allow people to come through a similar pathway to what academies are doing, then we might be able to get them to that position. So like for us, it was what made us start it was seeing that gap in the market and knowing that we proper social change through providing a platform for people to really develop.
Yeah, it's true. It's true because I've been at places where like things are almost promised and stuff. Like I even told you on Connor before when I joined you lot, like I was scared to come, not scared to come, but like there was always doubt in the back of my mind. Like I've been promised this before, I've been promised that before. Like nothing's ever come of it. And even my dad, like my dad's cautious when it comes to football because like he wants the best for me and stuff. So even he was cautious and stuff. I think you remember the chats with him anyway. You and Connor had with him.
Yeah, 100%. Because your dad was so involved in your football from such a young age as well. And like you said, him and your mum were driving you around, they were dropping you places and things like that. So a lot of people don't realise how much is invested into footballers at a young age, like from the whole family, not just what the footballer sacrifices, but your whole family so much. And it's like you say,
it's true.
You come to these places and sometimes they just make promises that they can't deliver on. And it's hard to differentiate between who's going to deliver on what they say and who's not going to deliver on what they say. And I think that goes for everything. Only just not the football world, not just the football world even.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Let me hit you up with the second one, Tobe. This is more football based actually. This is for young aspiring footballers. What would be your number one advice for like, you know, when you're in a bad run of form or things aren't going your way,
Mm,
like, how do you sort of reset yourself and come back? Like, I know a lot of sports stars have like ways they
mm.
reset. You know, you're on a bit of a bad run, you've gone 2 or 3 games, maybe you've got an own goal or something like that. How do you
Yeah.
go about resetting and just sort of letting yourself know that it's just one game in the past and it doesn't necessarily dictate to happen in a few weeks?
Um, like obviously my situation and stuff, like you see footballers, I think they all see it, like they'll see the hate comments online and stuff, but I feel like for any sportsman, like anyone doing sports, I feel like when they're doing that specific sport, they feel like they've got the best job in the world. So like you see me, I look at it like I'm doing something that I love every single day of my life, and like I wouldn't change anything for it. And I think I think part of it, like football especially, like it's full of opinions. So let's say a fan could be sitting in the crowd and be like, oh, can go after a game, tweet and say, oh, you played this, you played that, like you're this, you're that. But it's his opinion at the end of the day. Like if you watch that game back, you could probably have made 2 mistakes that he's highlighted, but he's gone on about, oh, he's had a bad game. And then a lot of people can jump on a bandwagon and be like, yeah, he's had this, he's had that, he's had that. But football is just like, you just got to be mentally strong.
Yeah.
Like just be mentally strong, just be yourself, like just play it to the best of your ability at all times. And if you feel like you've left everything out on that pitch, then you can't do anything more. So
So
yeah, like I said, like just football just full of opinions, really.
yeah, so I think like 2 things you touched on there, like massive for me. One is football's a game of opinions. I know, and you
Mm,
up as well. Like so many people said to me and Connor, like Toby will never play pro football. Toby will never be this, never be that, never be this. And we're like, okay, listen, that's your opinion. That's like fair enough. You don't think that like, we've got a different opinion. We think that he might, and we think we can help him get there. So I think that's one thing. Remembering that everyone has a different perspective on things, and just because that's their perspective doesn't mean it has to be your reality. And two, the other thing was
yeah.
what you were saying again, just about the gratitude of being in a position where like you get to do something you love every single day. Like every single day you get to
Mm,
train for football, play football. So it's not always so important. Like I don't want to downplay the importance of obviously individual games, but sometimes you think about this is one moment in like a huge long career for
yeah.
you. Like people don't go into an office on a Monday morning, have a bit of a bad day, and then start thinking, oh my god, I'm in awful, like as in I'm in a bad.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying though as well, because like you even see players at the top, Ronaldo and Messi, they've got haters. So like if you've got haters and you're playing football, it's just normal. Like it's just a normal thing. So I feel like you just have to, like no one's perfect. You just gotta get on with it. But football's a cruel sport because obviously fans pay the money to come watch their team and stuff. And if they feel like you're not playing up to their standards or whatever, like fair enough, they do have every right to sort of get on your back and stuff. But like you just gotta try and block that out as much as you can and just keep looking
Yeah,
forward at the bigger picture.
and I think so. Another just to like, I don't want to run this question too long, but just what you were saying
Yeah.
as well. It's like they're welcome to their opinion, but you don't have
Mm,
to be all on board. Like some of it's constructive. Like I might say to you after a game, "Oh, Toby, man, I thought one-on-one defending you weren't great today," and you probably know that
mm.
sensible play
Yeah,
should
exactly.
improve you. Whereas someone online saying, "Toby, like you were no good today," you're thinking that like he's only on there just to slag you off or just to give you grief or for whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's about sort of filtering that information and working out which ones you need to take on board and improve on, and which ones you just need to sort of let like go over your head.
Yeah, it's true because like you'll know yourself if you've had a bad game or a good game or not. So you can reflect that on yourself anyway.
Okay, we've got question 3 from you. Yeah,
Yeah.
before you
Um.
get a lot of love in here, Toby. You're gonna if you leave hearts, there's gonna be some very upset people because you're
I know. I
saying,
know. My hearts, man. What a club, man. Um. Next question. Your goals and ambitions, so your goals and ambitions for when you and Connor started off Conquest. Were you guys ever scared to fail, like when you set this up?
um, so this is a bit of an interesting one really because it's probably slightly different for me and Connor. Um,
Mm.
like I was saying before, I just started uni the same So the summer we started Conquest, I went to uni in the September. It was obviously everything you do, you want it to be 100% successful, as big as possible. But I always put in my head that I was going to end up doing something to do with my degree. So, like, originally, my goals and ambition really for Conquest was just how far can we take it, like in a 3-year period, because that's how long my degree was. So it was like, how many people can we make a pro, or how many kids can we coach a week? Like, sort of how much social change can we activate? But like, obviously, that evolved as it got bigger. But in terms of like whether we were scared to fail or not, like, definitely not. I just think like, life is basically just failing forward all the time. It's like, it's just a series of, you're going to come up against so many roadblocks and so many obstacles that it's just who can fail forward the most often. So it's like, oh, I failed at this, okay, I'll pick myself up, I'll do it this way this time. Oh, I didn't quite get it this time, I'll pick myself up and do it this way this time. And it's like, when we started Conquest, was it perfect? No. Is it perfect now? No. But as long as you're getting better each and every, I don't think you should ever be scared of failing at one thing or another. Like, if it's what you wanted to do, that was what you were trying to achieve, and it's just like, as long as you're always improving, then I think there's nothing to ever be scared of in that respect. Yeah,
it's true, man.
So get you the next question. Okay, yeah, this would be quite an interesting one. So it's a bit like, there's more than one like facet to this question, but I want to hear the most underrated player you've played either with or against first, and then once you've done that, I want to know who the hardest opposition you've ever faced, because I don't know, a few people won't know, but there's been some big ones in there. Like, I remember coming to a youth cup game for Chelsea. Obviously, Tammy Abraham's banging goal. I'm in the Prem now. Couldn't score. Only round he didn't score against, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out Paul as well, man. That was my guy. That was my partner as well, man.
Just commented as you said that as well. Luton 18s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. So go on. So
the most underrated player.
Like, with or again?
The most underrated. That's hard, you know. That is hard.
I only asked the hard questions.
Because you know what, there's so many players out there. Like, there's actually so many players out there.
Or if it's difficult.
No, do you know what? Do you know what? My friend, you know Kenny.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Dougal for Barnsley, midfielder. Nah, he's underrated, you know.
Oh, seriously? Well, you think like
you think
listen, the value in him, yeah?
You see that guy? He's a baller, I'm telling you now. If he sits like, so like, obviously when Stendhal got sacked or whatever, like, it was unfortunate, innit? But he was just coming back through injury. And then we went to a 3-5-2. And then when he sits in front of that back four or back three or whatever, nah, it's long. It's long for attackers and that, because he just, honestly, he sweeps up, he wins the ball, and he just like, his pass completion rate's got to be like 95% every game. Like, he's a joke on the ball as well.
He's one of them players, like, everyone likes passing to him, because, you always...
Yeah. He always keep it, and like, he's not scared to take a pass as well. Like, he'll just fire it. He'll just zing it in a gap, and everyone's just like, wow. Like, literally, like, even in training and stuff, like, him on the ball, he's a joke. Yeah, I'll say Kenny.
Shout out Kenny then for the most underrated. And then, so hardest opposition you've played against?
No, you know what?
Maybe if you don't want to pick whole opposition, like, I don't mind you saying like hardest player for you to mark one-on-one, maybe.
I played ballers, you know.
Cool.
Like, obviously, cool. Everyone's gonna be like with the Benrahma shout, blah blah blah. He's a baller, yeah. Like, he's sick. Like, he's different level though.
Should not be playing. That's a Prem footballer there.
Yeah, listen, next year he's in Prem, man, 100. I'm trying to think, because I played against like Felipe Anderson and stuff.
Yeah.
But actual playing against, I'll probably say, you know that Klitsch for Leeds.
Oh yeah. Which hard to mark on that, yeah.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's difficult? Because when we play Leeds, and Leeds, like, when they play against each other, like, he like Leeds, they man mark, don't they? So like when we're on the ball, like he's tight on me, but when we're off the ball, like when they're on it, they're rotating stuff, like you can't get near him. But him, like he's just so technically good, like his first touch, like his awareness and stuff, like, and he's one of them players that is like deceivingly quick.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like you look at him, he doesn't look quick, but when he gets going, like he's actually got a bit.
Oh, he must
So for me, yeah.
himself. So I mean,
Huh?
I said he must be quick because you're no slouch yourself. I mean, put burners on you a couple times in Conquest days, but you are still quite
Yeah, nah. Yeah, I'll say Klitsch.
decent. So go on then. Question 4, I think, from you.
Yeah. This is a good one, I think. How did you manage with your like master's degree and all your uni work with Conquest?
Yeah, it was difficult. It wasn't easy. So it was like, maybe 6 a.m. wake up, straight down to uni, all the way back, 5 hours at football.
I even remember that time we were training and someone broke into the car and stole your laptop.
Oh, do you know how emotional I was? Oh, so the worst thing about that story, yeah, is that I had a deadline due the next day, but I'd been at uni with
Yeah.
a project, and my laptop and my like external hard drive was in my laptop case. So like I didn't even have any backup of my work, and I'll never forget. It was like my hardest module, like corporate finance. I go the next day, like with the police report and all that, to get an extension. We had this deadline for 3 months. My lecturer was like, "Yeah, I'll give you another week to do it." I was like, "No."
No way.
But listen, we moved. We got it done.
Yeah.
The way it's weird because it was difficult, but I'm the sort of person that I like to have a lot to do. And
Mm.
so I feel like the more you give me to do, I'm very much like a pressure makes diamonds person. So like the more you give me to do,
Mm.
easier I find it to achieve the task. So the fact that I had so much structure, like I was boom in uni, focused on that, come back, Conquest, focus on that, get back home, do my uni work, back up the next day and do it again. And so it was like
Mm.
I was just always switched on, if you know what I mean. And so it was like I found it
Yeah.
like it was almost like motivating for me because it was a bit of a challenge. It was like, can you run this company? Can you grow this from here to here? And can you still also get your degree? But it was
Mm.
difficult, definitely. But I feel like if you set yourself lofty goals, you'll always be impressed with how much you can achieve. Most people don't. They don't not achieve things because they can't. Excuse me. They don't achieve them because they don't try. So like, if you set yourself a really big goal, it sounds really hard and it sounds like a difficult thing to do, but
Yeah.
you'll get there. If you put the effort in, you will get there. It's just about applying yourself to actually do it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Um,
Mm.
Question number 4 for you. I think I know what it is, but for your followers, what's your number one footballing memory? So, like during your professional football career, what's your number?
It's got to be West Ham, innit? It has to be. It actually has to be. No, that. Do you know why that's mad though? Because like at the time when the new gaffer came in, Wally, like December, January, I wasn't really playing and stuff, so I wasn't really getting in the squad. I was on the bench. I wasn't really getting a look in and stuff. And then like on that day, I said to one of my boys, Jay Jervis, I was just like, listen, like one of us is gonna score today, because me and him always used to say, oh, if you score, we'll do the little Mbappe, you know what I mean? And then it's funny because when he was coming on, he came on before me, and I was just like, I looked at him and I was like, listen, bro, today's the day it's gonna happen. Like I just looked at him, I was like, today's the day it's gonna happen. And then I think someone got injured or someone got cramp or whatever, and then they were like, listen, you're coming on. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, me out wide, like, are you not sure? Like, but no, I was just like, all right, cool. And then anyway, I just got on with it. Then I came on, and then I think it was like 2, 3 minutes in, as soon as I've been on the pitch, and then I just see the ball come back post, and then like, you know, them ones where in your head you've already scored, like, because you can see it perfectly, and then I was just like, I was already celebrating before I run off in my head, but then luckily it just went in, and then the scenes, man, the scenes were crazy. Like I think that moment there is gonna just live with me forever.
It's weird, like because you know when you do something like for a living, like obviously you play football for a living.
Yeah, yeah.
When you come up and like as soon as the ball leaves your head or leaves your foot or anything like that, like you almost know already whether it's going in and stuff, don't you? So it's like
yeah.
everyone else in the stadium, you're like already buzzing because you already know that ball's going in the back of the net. Like, it's like
No, it was
a wicked moment for us as well. Like watching it and stuff, it's just mental to see you score.
that's what I'm saying. Because like my mum and dad, like I even got tickets for my mum, dad, and my little sister. And then when I found out I wasn't starting and stuff, I was like to them, "Oh, I'm not starting," and they were just like, "You know what? Like you probably won't get on, so just give the tickets away to like someone else or a player who needs them and stuff." So they didn't even come to the game. They ended up watching it on TV. So, but I think them watching it on TV, like I think it would have been a better experience for them because it was just unexpected. Like it was just an unexpected thing that happened.
I always think live sports is great in the moment, like when you get the atmosphere and everything like that in the stadium. Obviously, it would have been wicked, but like
Yeah.
they're back on TV, like they got all the angles, they got to see the reaction.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That moment was a joke, man.
Just what a moment! I knew you were going to be honest with you, I knew you were going to pick that, but I wanted you to pick that so everyone that jumped in the live could just hear your reaction to sort
Yeah. Yeah, no. Even Windlesham when we beat Windlesham 2-1.
of.
What a day! What a day!
That was ridiculous. Like 93rd minute or something, you've gone
No,
up.
but do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I've said to Paul, all them lot now. I was like, listen, when we were losing Sunday League, if you just put me up top, I will get a goal. Like no matter what, I will score a goal. The amount of times that it happened, and nah, man.
The thing is me and Connor are process people, not outcome people. So like, it's not really in our nature to just go, oh yeah, chuck Toby up top, like he'll get a goal. But
Yeah.
so we're like, nah, if he's gonna get a goal, put him up there because he will. So like 93rd minute, if it was a little 1-1 in a big game, it was like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
That one was the one I remember because everyone. Do you remember we just all on the pitch like it was?
Yeah, that was mad.
Jose Mourinho up and down the touchline.
Yeah, no, that moment there was crazy.
People don't realise. I try to explain to someone. I think it was. I'll tell you who I was speaking to. Actually, I was speaking to Demel the other day, and like, if you weren't in Conquest, it's hard to explain. But like, the emotion and the passion was like serious.
No, it was mad. I was doing knee slides on dry pitches and I like cutting up my cutting up my knees.
This was real life.
Nah. Alright, cool. You know what? Last question for you. What has been your favourite tour?
My favourite tour? Oh, that's an interesting one actually. Do you know what? I think probably I had the most fun on the first MIC tour, MIC 15.
Nah, you know what? I didn't even enjoy that. Remember, I was done for like 3 days because of my leg.
And you had the massive cut down your leg, like your leg.
Nah, my head.
What player of the tournament though? You played out your mind that tour. I'll never forget. We had a coaches meeting on that tour, and we were like, he's going pro after this, like as in that. It was the first. You were always very good compared to like a lot of other people, but that was probably the first time when we were watching you on a pitch and you were doing things that were a long way above. There was a few pitch like. I'm not going to sit here and listen, but you played with some very good footballers. But you were doing things that were well beyond what was required of you. You were cutting things early and stuff like that. And that was sort of the first time when we really, really knew like this guy's going pro, like as in definitely pro. But that was probably my most fun one. But the selfish level, MIC 16. Felt like more of an achievement because 82 of us went on that tour, and let me tell you now, I went to my sister's wedding was abroad, last month. 28 of us went. And when I tell you this was stress coming through the airport, like I didn't even have to organise it, and it was stress, like all the passes getting through the airport. So how we managed to get 82 of us at like between 15 and 20, through the airport, like they're on time for like a 5 a.m. start, like away in Barcelona.
Luton, mate.
We're running around Luton, like Barcelona town, like it was just that was wild. Like I can't. Yeah, I can't even. Look, Lily's even saying. I actually said to her in the airport, like, I actually want to go back and get a pat on the back for the fact that we this many people away. Yeah,
No,
and
man, we should have won that. We actually should have won that, you know.
listen, I'm not.
I still think about that till that day, you know. I'm not gonna lie, man. If
Do you
anyone
know
from our previous teams watching this as well, I know they're deep in life right now as well. That's
do you
all
know
I'm saying.
people were actually like we were genuinely upset because I felt like I actually felt wrong. Do you know sometimes you lose a game and you think, oh, do you know what, we got outplayed in that. But like we were so
Yeah,
unlucky.
yeah, yeah.
We did so much so perfectly, and it's just like when you go and hit the bar 4 or 5 times, like they score a lucky breakaway goal off a mistake and stuff like that, and it's like it was
I
so
think
wild to think like we could have gone all the way in that tournament, like all the way.
that that was like I remember like I've cried on the pitch before, but that's like the most I've ever cried on a football pitch when we lost that game. I was like, nah. I was like, I can't believe we just lost that game. Like, but it's more like, you know, when you're angry, but you're like so angry you have to cry. Like
Yeah,
it was one of them ones, and I just had to let everything out. Oh mate,
it was
nah.
frustration because no one knew how much we had put in getting to that point, and I'm talking like we've got you lot doing burpees on a concrete pitch at Red
This
Lees,
is what I'm saying.
like
This is what I'm saying.
concrete pitch. We're playing five-a-side on a concrete pitch, like slide tackles on a concrete pitch at Red Lees. Like I'm talking, people were getting bashed about and all sorts. Like this was
Yeah,
intense to get to this moment, but it was not. Yeah, it was not. It was good, but it wasn't good. Like I loved it,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a great moment though.
but that was stress. I can't lie. And your fifth question, Toby. Do you know what? I was going to ask you best memory from Conquest, but because we've sort of kind of covered that a couple of times, I might
Mm.
ask you something else. What what are your goals and ambitions like for the next like where do you want to be like 5 years from now? Not necessarily like exactly who you want to play for, but how do you see your career going? How high do you think you can go? How far do you think you can take?
That's a good question, you know. Like in football, everyone wants to play at the highest level possible. So obviously, like in 5 years' time, I'd like to see myself playing in the Prem,
Yeah.
like the best league in the world. Um, like that's I think for me, like as a youngster as well, just growing up watching Match of the Day or the Premier League and stuff, and then eventually signing a pro deal. Like that for me myself is like I'm actually doing my dream job now, like
Yeah.
constantly. Because when you're a scholar, like you're still you're still in your dream job, but you still gotta go to college and stuff, like you're doing schoolwork and it's not quite as much as being a pro. But whereas a pro, like you're just literally focused on football. And there's so many more things that come with it. So yeah, hopefully in 5 years' time, like I'd like to be playing, yeah, in the Prem. But
So on that note, just to sort of extend on that question very quickly, is so like ideal team, ideal scenario. So like if you could pick one football moment you could have, like who would it be playing for against, and what would it be like? Charity winning
um,
up, like what would be the peak, the absolute peak for Toby Sibbick in football?
like the peak for me in general, like obviously I think my actual footballing goal, yeah, it would be amazing if it ever happened, was to win like the World Cup.
Yeah,
Like I think that one there for any footballer is just like you're
it's
literally king of the world. Like
that's
you're the
different. Like
best, you're the best team.
yeah,
That's and to think, do you know what annoys me as well is like to think that Varane, yeah, who's won the Champions League and the World Cup in the same year, and like I've even said I think he should have won Ballon d'Or that year because how can you have a centre half that wins the World Cup, Champions League, and he's not even in the top three? Like
and
that took my head. That's what I'm saying.
his trophy cabinet is a joke, and I'm talking about someone that plays a major part. Like he is a centre back playing 90 minutes a game.
But this is what I'm saying though. Like defenders, it's tough. Like if you're a defender, you don't get the recognition as a striker. Like defender, you can make like 10 blocks in a game, keep a clean sheet. striker can miss 10 shots, score one, boom, man of the match. Like,
Yeah, I always say,
headman's on him.
I always say that. It's like defenders have to get everything right, whereas
Yeah,
strikers only don't have to get everything wrong. They only need to get one thing right, and they've sort of done their job. And this, unfortunately, like football puts a massive premium on scoring goals. So if you're an attacking player, like you're so much further ahead in the Ballon d'Or discussion than pretty much anyone else.
yeah, it's true. But obviously, winning the Champions League would be crazy as well. Like,
Yeah.
can't say who fought who against because that could come back and bite you. You know what I mean? Fans later on, if you're playing for that team, no, you don't want to play for us. But nah, man, like,
and then
yeah.
So on that note, I'm gonna put my neck on the line. I'll put my neck on the line on behalf of everyone at Conquest. I'm gonna give it what we now 2020, yeah. I'm saying by 2023, Toby Sibbick is playing Premier League football on a week in, week out basis. I'm saying I'm not like on the bench, not in the squad. I'm talking about he is starting.
That's a big shout.
It's a big shout, but I think you're capable of it, and I'm looking forward to watching it. So I'll be very happy when we do one of these lives like 2020. You probably beat me to it. It might be 2021, 2022, but we'll go 2023. Like, yeah. We'll do lives, and you can tell me what it feels like to having watched me predict this.
Nah, that's cool, man. 100%.
Jamie's giving it 2026. Toby wins the Prem with PPR. They've got to get there first. Free tickets.
Yeah.
Playing week in, week out in the Prem. I want the little box seats, you know, like the I don't care if the club won't give it to him. If he's got to pay for them, that's I've got to be saying. That's important.
No, it's true. You know, I'll sort the boys out.
Right, listen, what we're going to do is, I don't think we've been too long, but we'll do like sort of 5 or 6 minutes. We'll open it up to Q&A. So guys, just whack any questions you got in, anything you want to ask me, anything you want to ask Toby. Toby's a bit more interested than me, so try and direct him his way. But yeah, shoot away.
This Joe Bursick guy, honestly, he's so childish.
I'm looking this verified. Who's Joe play for?
He's at Stoke. He was at Wimbledon with me, innit?
Oh, Joe, is he a goalkeeper?
Imagine he's a goalkeeper. Yeah. No. Imagine this, yeah. Imagine he takes free kicks for Accrington Stanley. And he's a goal. He runs a full length of the pitch to bang free kicks for his team.
Listen, all I know is Joe, is keep it up. Keep practicing those free kicks. You'll get there. Who else we got?
What's your favourite?
Who's your favourite brother?
Who's my favourite brother? Bro, that's a deeper question, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you can't. You can't be comparing siblings like that. We've got to love everyone equal, innit?
We're trying to do a friendly live here. We're not trying to cause any family row.
What's the better standard, Championship or Scottish Prem?
Oh.
That's a good question. You know what? Like, I've only played. It's weird because like I've only played 2 games in the Scottish Prem, and unfortunately, like then I got hit with illness and stuff, so I never really got the chance. But I'll say the Scottish Prem is like, I've even said it before, it's bottom end champ but top end League One. So like, although there's you got the Celtics and Rangers and stuff, like who are just obviously they're just like up there. But actual like physicality wise, I feel like the Scottish Prem is more physical and stuff compared to Championship. Like when I played St Johnstone's and stuff, I was like, wow, this is like, it's like a League One game, but League Two physicality. You know, you're just getting hit all the time, just bang, bang, bang. And like, because I haven't been playing and stuff for a few months, I was still getting back into it, and I was just like, what's going on? Like, why am I getting hit so much? I remember getting elbowed in the ribs. I was like, oh my God, like I can't breathe. Yeah. Then I eventually had to come off because it was too much. But yeah, no, I think that's my comparison with the 2 leagues and stuff. But I think Scottish Prem though, like they've got good players in there who are like underrated and stuff. Because I feel like a lot of people will look at that league and just be like, you know what, it's in Scotland. There's only 12 teams, but there's actually like good footballers in that league that people forget. There's so much young footballing ability in Scotland as well.
And I think
Yeah,
over the next 3 to 5 years, watch how many big football clubs pick up young Scottish talents. You know, like Billy Gilmore at Chelsea. There's a lot
yeah,
like him that you'll see
yeah.
moving
It's true.
moving abroad and stuff.
That we even play even at Hearts we got, you know, that Aaron Hickey who was like linked in January with like AC Milan and that, which is
Yeah.
crazy. 17. We got another player when I made my debut against Rangers,
Yeah.
our midfield four, where I think our oldest player was 21 or 22, and
Young
that's our midfield four.
against Rangers.
That,
I love the way you just
I
skipped.
know the oldest, sorry. Yeah, no, the oldest was like 21, 22, sorry. Like in our midfield. So Andy, who's like a centre mid as well. He's a player. Like I wouldn't be surprised if an English club comes in for him soon, like Championship or Prem. I think he's a year younger than me,
The other
a
thing
year or two younger than me.
as well is what, and I don't want to be disrespectful to the Championship because it's a very good league, yeah. But I think the thing about the Championship isn't so much the quality in the league, but it's the competitiveness. Like that league is so competitive
Yeah,
at the bottom. Like 24th can beat first, like no problem. So it's like it's so competitive that makes that league so difficult.
This is what I'm saying. Like, trust me, Championship. Like, that's people think that the Championship's like the best league to watch in the world, and I don't blame them. Even on Friday nights, like when Championship's on, everyone tunes in to watch it because the fixtures and stuff, anything can happen. So
Next question, Toby, is off Crystal Tuition Team, which is Richard, like one of my mates, Richard. Shout out Richard. He runs his own tuition company. Yeah. Toby, what's the best piece of advice you've received? It can be from anyone, so parents, coach, mentors. If you could pick out one bit of advice you've got, what would it be?
that's tough, you know.
I can tell you're struggling. You have to lean back.
Yeah, I had to lean back and put my hands on my head. Like my dad's always said to me, if you put your mind to something, you can always do it. And that's just not him saying it to me as well. I think like everywhere you go, you hear that saying quite a lot because it's true. Like if you're trying to run, let's say tomorrow someone wants to run a 10K, like halfway through they're like, no, I can't do it. You can do it, but it's how quick you do it. Do you know what I mean? It's not impossible. Like everything's possible at the end of the day. Like you just gotta put your mind to it, and you can do it. It doesn't have to be, for example, like let's say if I set a goal, like I want to score 20 goals or whatever, like if I want to score 20 goals in a season, that's not me saying, I want to do it next year.
Yeah.
It can be the year after that. It's as long as you're like seeing progression and reaching them heights, then you can just keep bettering yourself like that. Do you know what I mean?
That's a wicked one as well because it's so simple. Like you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Because like so many people don't realise. Like I was on the wind up in the live the other day. Connor said to me, "Oh, how many more reps have you got, Harry?" And I said, "I've only got one more." And he said, "What?" I said, "I've always only got one more." Like in my head, like I could do 500 reps if I want because in my head I've only it's like
yeah, it's true.
One. Like, I can always do one rep. So I just keep doing one. So it's like you're saying, like if you want to run 10K, yeah, you might think at 5K I can't do it anymore, but you can do it. You might just have to like you might just have to take a bit longer to do it. But it's not you're not going to get there. It's just about applying yourself until the point where you do get there.
Yeah, it's true. Like even if you just set little goals, like short, medium, but long-term goals, like then that way you can see progression through that, and that might be easier for that person to then hit the long-term goals quicker.
100%. Next one will be a quick one because I don't even know who he is. But Connor Ross wants to know who's the better dancer, you or Sean Clare?
Sean Clare, I don't dance, man. I don't dance. Sean Clare, man.
The big man, he doesn't dance, yeah. He's like pro football, he's got a reputation to keep up here. All his feet do is kick ball.
But if we bring the vocals out, I'm up there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm up there. But nah, not today.
That's cool you out, man. You're lucky you said no, not today. Samir wants to know, what are your plans for next season? So, like, do you think it's likely? Will you be looking to go back out on loan somewhere, Toby? Or I don't know how much you can talk about it. I don't want to put you in a situation with any of the clubs.
Nah, No, this is like
Can I
it
jump?
is a weird situation,
Let me
huh?
jump. I don't, as one of your representatives, I don't want to get you in a sticky one here, so I'm gonna I'm gonna intervene. His plans for next season are to be playing football regularly, week in, week out.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah, that's
just just yeah. We don't want to rock any apple carts. He just wants to play football week in, week out.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's all I want to do. Like whether that's at Barnsley or elsewhere, like I just want to be playing football because everyone's happier when they're on the pitch. So that's my main thing for next year. Just try and get as many games under my belt as possible.
Good man. Three things you want to work on for next year, Toby. That's from Michael Mackin.
Um, three things I want to work on for next year.
Or three things you think you can improve. Like, yeah.
Um, it's weird because I feel like when I play in midfield, like I want to be better on because I've always played at the back or whatever. I don't really have to get on the ball in a half turn and drive at people, but I just want to be braver on like receiving that ball and dictating play more. If I play in that midfield role, that's one thing I want to improve on. Another thing's probably be just more aggressive, like just hunt people down, clamp, like even if I have to give a foul away, just do it. Like instinct on the pitch, like just be more aggressive and stuff, and stop being so like passive and naive on the pitch, because that will get you nowhere. Like I've realized this, I've realized this, so I just need to keep adding that to my game and stuff.
100%. Every
And
player that gets involved, like, because it shows you're putting the effort in there. Whereas if you're being a bit passive, sometimes people think that you're not willing to get involved and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think another thing with me is just like I feel like for every young player, sometimes it's hard to find consistency. And for me, I just want to like next year, just like wherever I'm at, just get consistent, like have the same performance levels like every week, and just keep playing to the best I can really, and just be consistent and see myself progress as a better player.
Yeah, decent. I'm going to try and run these off a bit quicker now, Toby, because I know you're a busy man and you've given us a lot of your time already. Um,
No, that's cool.
Biggest personality in the Barnsley and Hearts dressing room. Biggest personality.
Barnsley dressing room. Barnsley dressing room. I'll say there's a few. You know, we're a young squad, but there's a few.
Go
Um, I'll say a lot of people. I think Kenny's up there. Kenny, Alex, and Corley. I think they're the main three that people in the dressing room will look up to, and Chaps, Connor Chapman as well. I think there's four. Those four there, like they're the four people that people look up to in the dressing room before games, like after games and stuff. Like
Yeah, that's
they're
all.
the ones that would get us going and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
the Hearts one, I'll probably say Stephen Naismith.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
what a huge name to
he's
play with.
yeah, yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Some
Like
people
this,
get
it's
it,
mad.
but like, especially for someone your age, like to play with someone like that is like
It's crazy, man.
it's such a cool person to.
Like seeing him, yeah, literally, like, and he's cool to talk to as well. He's so chill. Like growing up supporting Chelsea, I'm deep in it. Like he scored a hat trick against the team I support, and now like we're on the same pitch, like, same team. It's just weird. Football's just crazy. It's such a small world.
So crazy. How's your time been at Hearts?
It's been, I think like this loan experience is probably one of the best things I've ever done. And like, it's just a shame that I only played my two games and coronavirus happened. Because when coronavirus happened, I was about to train that day and I was ready to be match fit for the game coming up.
I remember you saying.
So yeah, so my head was gone from that, but the actual like Hearts experience myself, I feel like it's bettered me as a person because I got struck down with glandular fever. I was out there by myself in Scotland, new country.
Yeah.
Like I'm just chilling and stuff, like just by myself, sleeping all day. But yeah, the fans out there, they're different. Like they always sending me messages showing me love. So
That leads to the
it's
next
a
good thing.
good club, man.
Did you realise how big
It's
of
a
a
good club.
before you joined?
No, I didn't, like, because obviously, football is weird. Like, so because we're in England and stuff, Scottish football was on the TV every now and again, but we always knew the Celtic Rangers derby. Like, yeah, big derby, Glasgow derby or whatever. Like, but when you go out there, there's a lot more derbies to it, and then obviously the Hearts Hibs derby, like
Huge.
when
Yeah.
that derby there is crazy. I'm talking like fans will die out there for their club. Like I remember watching it on TV when we beat them 3-0. I was just like, wow, like this is crazy. Like the fans are so passionate, and I even found out in my first game when we played Rangers, like the fans and stuff, the atmosphere was something I've never experienced before. Like it was one of the best things for me.
Very decent. Richard said, thanks a lot for answering that, Toby, on the best piece of advice. You're an awesome role model and an exemplary professional. Love that advice from you, Mr. Sibbick.
Cheers, thank you.
Compliment. Or what's this? Toby's agent is watching. Unfortunately, I'm part of Toby's representation team, so that was why we had to cut off that. Damn, we're staying up a great skate. If I don't hear heading, yeah, I know if the season continues, might be a matters. 2 goals from you, Tobes, next season. 1 second, I'm just trying to catch up. A loan back to the Dons would be class, yeah? Oh, biggest personality in the Wimbledon changing room. Might as well do it now that you've done the others, though.
When I'll do my first full proper season. So last year, when I played a few fair games, but before that, it was like the Lyle Taylors and stuff. But last year, we had a lot. I say Anthony Wordsworth is one of them because he's just like a proper experienced pro. He's had a good career and stuff. Like he knew what it takes to get out of there and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was with us in the young team, sort of thing. So like we had to look up to him and Joe Pigott actually as well. Yeah, I think those two mainly were the biggest characters in the changing room. Paul as well. Is Paul still here? If Paul's still here, Paul's there as well.
Is Paul still in it? Have we still got you, Paul? Are you still on board? Yeah, he's still in it. I'll just flip through. Right, we've got a couple more guys and then we're going to let Toby shoot. What was better, the goal v West Ham or the Great Escape? I know you said West Ham was probably your favourite memory, but I suppose the Great Escape was probably actually a bigger achievement.
You know what? I've always said, yeah, like the feeling when we drew against Luton was better than my goal against West Ham. Like that feeling against Luton there, like 90th minute equaliser, to sort of give us that point, like, which felt like a win. Like that there was just insane. Like all the players and stuff, like when we scored that winner and that the equaliser, sorry, jumping in the crowd, like everyone just going wild. And yeah, I'll say the Great Escape is probably like my best footballing moment as itself because we were 10 points adrift in February and we managed staying up on the last day. Like that's uncalled, really. No one knows about that. Yeah,
and the mad thing about that as well is that's a nice one to have because like it shows that you lot were invested as a team. The fact that that's sort of a bigger achievement than your goal against West Ham. That's when you know you're as a team and like you know you've really got genuine like camaraderie with your teammates because you want the whole team just you scoring against West Ham. So we're doing the last couple now, yeah. That Ryan Much one's the last one. Sorry if we've missed you guys, but I think I've done everyone. So we've got, have Dale and Stendhal helped you to develop as a player?
Yeah, like Tongi and Stendhal, like when I first came in, they made me feel welcome straight away. Like, I think everyone knows, or everyone who knows me as a player, like me and Stendhal do have like a good connection and stuff, like on and off the pitch. So when he brought me to Barnsley, I didn't know like how much he liked me as a player until like the season actually started and stuff. And then we used to talk and stuff. Tongi he was like, you can have banter with him and then he will tell you where you need to improve and stuff. Like he's the main guy that you go to if you want to improve.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people don't.
The gaffer himself.
Sorry to interrupt you, I was just going
to
say
that again.
People watching that aren't too sure. Like a lot of people don't realise how much an assistant manager does. Like because managers and coaches are very different. And like you say, he's probably the person you'd go to if you want to improve on something. And a lot of people don't realise how important like assistant managers, assistant coaches are to the whole setup of the club. So it's nice that you shout him out.
Yeah, it's true because like obviously the gaffer is German and Tongi's he's English, so he gets along with the players like more. He understands us more and stuff. But yeah, when I went to Hearts, obviously the gaffer Stendhal, he played a big part in me coming. And then when after the game against Rangers, like, I went into the manager's office, I see Tongy because Adam was there. You know Adam from Barnsley.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came to watch. And then Tongy was there as well. And like when I saw Tongy, I just started smiling because like he's played a big part for me as well. And when I found out that day that he's looking to come to Hearts, like, I was just so happy. And when it eventually got done, I was just buzzing to work with him again.
Very decent. So then that was the last. So the last two is Jamie, who do you hate to play against the most for whatever reason? You already answered that, so just watch back the live for that one. And then Ryan is the last one. Is what do you think about the Hearts fans? Because I'm conscious of the time, Toby, I'm gonna answer it for you. He absolutely loves the Hearts fans. He said it enough times. He loves it. Enjoyed it. You guys are unbelievable.
Unbelievable fans.
But I'm going to ask the final question now. Are you playing in the FIFA tournament on Sunday or not?
I can't listen.
Listen, I've got.
If you don't,
teammates.
Listen. If you don't believe me, ask Paul what I think of that game. I can't do it to myself. Nah, man.
Rumours are coming out that Paul's jumping in the tournament. Apparently, Paul fancies himself. Is he good?
Listen, Paul plays like, I can't even. I'm gonna get mad.
Listen,
I know Paul plays like them guys on Foot Champs that tells their man to sit, counter attack, long ball. That's what all people do, man. I don't like that game. Game's terrible. Man.
Okay, so Toby's. We do have a FIFA tournament this weekend, and like there is about 3 spaces left. So anyone in here that does want to jump in, Paul Kalambayi is going to be on there. I think he's confident, but he's actually going to get spacked. We've got Corey's our resident gamer, so Corey's going to do us bits and win us the tournament, I think.
Nah, you know what? If it's a Fortnite thing, man's there, innit? Fortnite thing.
What, like that?
Fortnite thing. Listen, I'm up there.
No, I love that. All right, listen, I'm going to thank you very much for jumping on, Toby. Always a pleasure, mate. Good to speak to you.
Good to speak to you too, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Listen, obviously, hopefully we'll be back to watching you on the TV soon. And Prem's not far away.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in.
Cheers.
Thanks for all your questions. We appreciate it, guys. Yeah.
See you later.
See you later, Toby.